Good morning, this is Dominic with TheBackVlog, and I put Ramen in jail because she was being very rowdy. This is the video for what I just finished yesterday, which is Legend of the Galactic Heroes Season 3. And this is the complete second set of this Malaysian bootleg. And as you can see on the cover art here, there are a few people who are no longer with us. There's 6 people here, and 4 of them are not present. Yeah, Legend of the Galactic Heroes Season 3 was a wild ride. It seemed to start off very slow and docile, because, you know, coming from Season 2, you had the Empire's complete control of everything, Free Planets Alliance, and that basically forced Yang Wenli into a sedentary lifestyle with Frederica Greenhill, and now they're like, you know, a married couple and everything. But it starts off with like this slow, like familial thing, and kind of ramps up into a quiet revolution against the Empire. And then, you know, obviously it turns into what it ends up turning into. And meanwhile, Julian is doing his own thing, trying to get to the bottom of the Earth Cult conspiracy. And this Earth Cult, man, is really getting under everybody's skin. It's not that they played a small role, but their role was so quiet in comparison to, you know, the war that is going on and all the battles that you see and all of the political alignment and everything. You know, the Earth Cult stuff is like secondary, but, you know, whenever we find out that Adrian Rubinsky of Fezon fame is in line with the Earth Cult, you know, I guess you could interpret it as the Fezon plotline was kind of a small cog in the greater Earth Cult plotline. The Earth Cult is definitely going to stir up a lot of bad news in the 4th season. I can guarantee that now. There's 1 season left, and they are pulling the strings, it seems. I assume because you're watching a Legend of Galactic Heroes Season 3 YouTube video, you have seen Legend of the Galactic Heroes Season 3, so I'm going to spoil the shit out of Legend of the Galactic Heroes Season 3, and also the Coen Brothers film No Country for Old Men. So if you haven't seen Legend of the Galactic Heroes Season 3 and you're watching this YouTube video, first of all, why? And second of all, if you haven't seen No Country for Old Men, directed by the Coen Brothers, you should watch it. It's pretty good. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit. I'm going to be a little bit vague about that. I'm not going to go into specifics. Yang Wenli's death. Let me preface that I knew it was going to happen. I've known it was going to happen since Season 2, and I was spoiled. I was spoiled for the stupidest reason that I deserved. So I started playing my 3DS again. I know this sounds wild, that Yang Wenli's death was spoiled to me because of my 3DS. But I was playing Tamagotchi Life. You know, I got back into playing that, and because Legend of the Galactic Heroes is like one of my big things right now, I was like, I'm gonna make Yang Wenli and Reinhard von Lohengrin. So I went to go make Yang Wenli, and there's like a birthday setting as well. So I was like, I wonder what Yang Wenli's birthday is. In the back of my head, I knew it was a stupid idea because this takes place hundreds of years in the future. So, like, any birth year is not going to be any year that will be applicable to Tamagotchi Life. So I look up his birthday, and I'm like, wait a second. And whenever you look up, like, a character, like, on, like, a character wiki or something, or an anime wiki, it'll say birth date, and then right under it, it'll say death date. And I'm like, oh. And I didn't remember what the date was, because as soon as I saw that, I was like, I gotta look away from this because I can't know this information. And it says he died in the year 800, which is the year that season 3 takes place. I know, like, we were towards the end of season 2, we were getting closer to year 800, and you know, season 3 takes place all in the year 800. So I was like, we're coming up soon. This is gonna be it. And I knew he was assassinated too, because in parentheses after the year 800 it said assassination, and I was like, come on. So at the very least, I wanted to know how it happened, and who did it, and the answer was incredibly unsatisfying. You know, Yang Wen-li gets shot in the leg, and the bullet, or I guess the laser, hits an artery, and he bleeds out. And the perpetrator is just a no-name Empire traitor, I guess, because he's more in cahoots with the Earth cult than he is with the Empire. You know, he just passes out silently, and that's it. It's so random and unceremonious, and disrespectful, which I guess is endemic of the banal nature of war and the trivial nature of it, where, you know, there's no reason for, especially at this point now, where like the war was being perpetrated by obviously I mean, mostly it's just clashing ideology and political hubris. But you know, at this point, like, the Free Planets Alliance is not even a thing anymore. And the reason that this war is happening is because the flame of democracy is dying, and the remnants of the Alliance can't contend with that. You know, and they're trying to fight for their freedoms. Even if Lowengram is a benevolent autocratic ruler, you know, who's to say the person who picks up after he dies will be, you know? And it's incredibly depressing. The things that really get me whenever, like, a major character dies, obviously, like, the death scene is, like, incredibly sad, but it's whenever, like, in other pieces of media, whenever the news of that person's death reaches their loved ones, and the way that they react to, you know, losing somebody that they care about, has always been a powerful thing for me. That's usually what gets me more than the death itself. And the way that these people react, you know, it's true to their characters. Like, you have Shenkop, the leader of the Rosenritter, and Frederica, and Julian, and Poplin. You know, the way that all of these people react is like, you don't really see this side of them until something really bad happens. And it's really powerful. It's really sad. I'm getting a little emotional talking about it. But yeah, the reason I brought up No Country for Old Men earlier is because the Yang Wen-li's death is like a blink and you miss it moment, like the one dude in No Country for Old Men. I'm not gonna say who it is or what happens, but there's a character in No Country for Old Men whose death you don't even get to see. You just see his body, and it's it just kind of happens, like the random brutality of life and death. It just happens, and it's really messed up, and it's very depressing. That's what Yang Wen-li's death reminded me of. The way that everything turned out was very depressing. In comparison to the first 2 seasons, like, there's a lot of politics in season 3 still, but I feel like, I mean, at least, like, definitely, like, with the Earth cult, but, like, towards the end, we're getting less into politics and more into emotional impact now. And not to say that the earlier seasons weren't that, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that the emotionally impactful scenes of the earlier seasons were kind of in part with the greater whole of the ideological conflicts. But here now, it's just like we've switched from the macrocosm to the microcosm. I don't really know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but it seems that we're getting more personal now with the way that things are going. Even the way that Lohengrin reacts to young Winley's death, like, is... It really shows the cracks of these characters. I don't know. I'm just rambling, and I'm sad. Yeah, this show is really good. Season 4 is the shortest season, so I'll be talking about that at some point soon. But yeah, it's sad times. I guess I'll do one of these. But the shadow is covering my head, so maybe this will be the thumbnail.